Hello friends, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to about Power Query and some of the functions. Few days ago, I posted a short video that how you can easily change or transform your unstructured data to really usable format. From that short video, which was less than a minute, this is the extension of that video. In this video, I will explain each and every function that I used and explain how those functions being used in this transformation. So let's get to Power BI and take a look. Here I have a data which is basically we have a data by in one single column. So there's three elements to this. There is a data is separated by space, and then there is a data which is separated by semicolon. So those are the two elements in this data. So what we want is the 2021, the first column called year. Basically all this will get converted into rows. If we look into this one in the year 2020, this will be 3 rows, and the first row will be 2021 value 1 amount 10. The second row will be value 5 amount 20. The third row will be value 8 amount 40, and so forth, so on. For the second there will be 2 rows. For the third there will be 4 rows, since these are the 4 separated semicolon values. So how we're going to do that? The first and the easiest thing to do is to start with splitting these into the separate columns. So what we're going to do is go to transform, split column, and by delimiter, and then we're going to choose space. It automatically detected that, so we can also pick and choose if we want different delimiter. So right now we're going to choose a space. So what this will do is it will give us the 3 different columns. That's now we got everything separated by columns. Once the split happens, what it does is it automatically gives the it adds 2 steps. One is the split column and give the column names, and then also change the type of the column. It auto detect that. So I'm going to remove the change type step for now. So what I'm going to do is in the split column by delimiter, I'm going to add the actual column name. Rather than renaming it to the next step, I can actually change it here. So I know my first column is year, my second column is value. Even we don't have the column converted into rows, but still we know what these columns are. So now we have a year, value, and amount. And as I change the column, it automatically still added the change type step. Pay attention to that. If you think the change type auto step, I always confirm when the auto step get added, the change type step get added. I just want to make sure the conversion it did is correct. Like for example, if this year is a number column, which we know, for example, this column contains some different value and it auto detected that as a number, and you expect this there could be a text in the future, so you want to make sure that you are changing the type to text instead of keeping a default to the number. Because if the type is not correct and tomorrow you have the new data coming in, and if this column contains a text value, and the change type step will fail because it is expecting and trying to convert text into number, and that can fail. So make sure when the automatically a change type step get added, you are paying attention that the it's assigning the correct type. So far so good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to split this. We're going to take advantage of the list function, and the list, there is a many list functions. The one which we're going to use is ListZip. So ListZip, we will talk about that will do. But first what we need to do is we need to convert these columns into lists. So how we can do that? So I'm going to add another column. Again, these add columns, what I'm doing is just to show the step by step. These all can be merged into one single step, which we'll do at the end. So let's do the custom column. What I'm going to do is call a new column which I'm adding. I'm going to value as list. So I'm adding a new column. So we have a function Text.Split. So what it does is it takes the column which is, or the text value, in this case a value column, and then it takes the separator, and the separator in our case is a a semicolon. So once we do that, what it is going to do is it's going to convert our text value separate by semicolon into a list, and that's what we are looking for. So if we go OK, so now you can see we have this new column added value as list. If I click on that, so I see if I click on this empty space, I see the value 158. So this has been converted into list. Similarly, second row 2 and 6, and third one is 1473. So this is converted into list. Now we need to add another column. What we need to do is we need to add amount also be converted into a list. So what we're going to do is the same thing, amount as list. Again, the column name can be anything, so I'm going to choose Text.Split and then amount and separated by semicolon and OK. So similar thing happens. So we have a list of amounts. So from here, what we need to do is we need to use the List.Zip functions to combine these lists together. So what it is going to List.Zip function is going to do is it's going to take this list as the parameter and combining the list value at the same position, and that's what we are looking for. So that's where the List.Zip functions come in handy, basically combining two lists and their value at the same position, and then it returns a list. So let's try to use that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to add another custom column. So we will call it value and amount list. So basically we're combining it. So list.zip, put the curly brackets. So the first one is value as list, and the second one is amount as list, and then curly bracket close because we are passing the list as a value. So once this is done, what we will see here is, so we have another column here with the list value. So if we click on the first empty row, so what it has is now it has the 3 rows as the list, which is a combination of the value and the amount. Similarly, if I go to the second list, so it has the 2 rows because there are the 2 values, and then the third one will have 4. So what we need to do here is we just need to expand this to the rows. So we're going to say there are 2 options here, is extract values or expand to new rows. In this case, because we want to expand our list to the rows, so everything now get into the rows. So if we look at the list now, what we will see is 1 and a 10, which is first value and from the value column, and the first value from the amount column, which is 10. That's why 1 and 10. And if you go to the second one, it is first value, which is 5, and the second value from the value column, and the amount, second value from the amount column, which is 20. So that's now we have a combination because this happened because of List.Zip. So what we can do is now expand this into, in this case now we're not going to do an expand to new rows, we're going to extract values, because what will happen if we expand to new rows, just going to do that, what is going to do is 110, 520, 840. This is not what we are looking for, because we want 2 columns, one which will be value column and then the 10 which will be amount column. So I'm going to remove this step and then now go here and extract values. So once you extract values, it's going to ask you, do you want a delimiter here? I can pick any one if I want, but you should, we need to pick one delimiter. So I'm going to put a comma for now. And so what this is going to do is, okay, so now we have a, this has been, value has been extracted. So now what it is 1, 10, 5, 20, and now everything is aligned. So from here it is very, very simple. What we can do is I can select this column because this is what I need, and go back to my transform column and go split, and then I can say by delimiter, similar thing what we did in previously. Now we need to be, because our values are separated by comma, so I'm picked, it automatically detected comma, and then go okay. So what we have is now again we have 2 columns get added, value and amount, which is what we're looking for. Again, as I said, when you do the split, it automatically creates a column name. We can change that. I'm going to remove the change type step, went back to the column split step, and my first column is going to call, actually before this I cannot rename it as a value and amount because there is already column value and amount. maybe before we extract values, we remove all other unwanted column because those are, we are not interested into any of those. So I'm going to say remove columns. I selected all the columns which I don't want, and removed columns, and what we have is now split by column step. So on that step, what I'm going to do is my first column, I know it is a value, and my second column is amount. Let's do that. So here you go. Now we have a year, value, amount, and it automatically added the change type step. So again, be careful when the change type step get added. So basically, we started from this source of data, and with the list.zip and text.split function, we were easily able to transform this into this final output, which then we can use in our reports. So quick thing, because we added 3 column, added custom 1, added custom 2, all those columns we added, we can remove these steps, and actually all this added customer, we can put this into one single step. So let me actually do that. What we're going to do is, after change type, we can add another column here called custom column. I'm going to call it list and amount. List and amount combined. So what we're going to do is list.zip. It needs a list, so we're going to start with a curly bracket, and then within this we're going to say Text.Split, and that is our value, which is a separated by semicolon, and then close. That's a Text.Split, and then comma, the second, this is a value. Now this will return a values list, and then the other one is Text.Split amount, separated by so delimiter is a semicolon, and then the bracket close for Text.Split, and then the curly bracket close, and then the list.zip bracket close. So now we have all those 3 steps been added into one single. So what we have here is, now we have a list of list. I can remove all these steps here. Added custom 1, let's get rid of that. Added custom 2, go 1, all those 3 separate steps which we added previously. So why it is giving the error? The column value in one of the table was not found because it's looking for value and amount list, and we called it value and amount combined. So I'm going to rename this to value and amount list. So I think that should missing something. Seems like there's an extra space here. Oh, sorry, list, and this is value and amount list. Okay, so now from here onward, everything is the same. Okay, hang on a second. Oh, some of those columns in the removed column step previously we had, now we don't have those. I can remove that from my remove column. So here you go, split and change type 1. So basically those add columns, we did it in the 3 different steps. We combine those into the one step, and the reason I did it in a separate step previously, just to show what each step will return and how list.zip will combine the values together. But we did that into one step by adding a custom column, and everything worked. I hope you find this video useful, that with the very simple transformation steps and the functions available in Power Query, you can easily transform a very unstructured looking data and easily transform into a really rich format that you can further use in your visualization. Again, it's just a matter of just thinking how to break things into pieces and then start building the solution from there. And let me know what you guys think about this video. Do subscribe my channel. Until next video, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Thank you.